bonjour Sens fans, I'm your host Jordan Mady and you're watching SFT. Some interesting dynamics coming out of interviews and radio conversations last week. TSN's Bob McKenzie toured to various cities across the country to interview the GMs of Canadian teams, including Brian Murray. He started off the interview by paying his respects to Mr. Murray and wishing him the best in his fight to return to good health. Back to business, and perhaps the birth of an interesting dynamic regarding Bobby Ryan. When asked about what it would take for Ryan to sign on long term, Murray brought up Ryan's role on the team. He wants to play more minutes. He wants to be more prominent in the core of good players. Early on, and I'm not sure why this happened, he didn't play more than 16 to 17 minutes in a lot of games. True, up to December 1st, Ryan played an average of 17 minutes and 18 seconds per game. He had an issue with that. He talked to Paul and myself about that last year. By doing that, he felt he wasn't one of the guys to go to. Murray then brought up shoddy discipline and how getting the right players on the ice to kill penalties affected Ryan's ice time, which is definitely a fair point. In the 13-14 season, Ottawa was assessed the most minor penalties in the league. But here is where it gets interesting. He continues by saying, "I think Bobby Ryan's role has to be added to as well. I think he can be a penalty killer. I think he can play more on the power play. I think if we can do that for him, he'll do a lot of good for us, and we'll have a better chance at getting him signed." Here's the next tidbit in the sequence, courtesy of NBC's Pierre McGuire via the Team 1200. When I heard about this and read some of it from Bruce Garriock this morning, I was like, that's a different way to proceed. Because I don't understand. The player wants to see how he's going to be used. Well, Bobby's not a checker. Bobby's not a penalty killing specialist. Bobby Ryan's on this team. If he's going to command big dollars, it's because Bobby has to be an offensive point producer. And he has to decide how he's going to play to see how he's going to be used, if you follow me. Now let's play back Brian Murray's words relative to what Pierre said. "I think Bobby Ryan's role has to be added to as well. I think he can be a penalty killer. I think he can play more on the power play." I think you folks probably understand what's happening here. 19 to 22 minutes per game for Bobby Ryan would be ideal, and I absolutely support increased power play time for him, but I don't think the team should start stretching his abilities. You can rely more heavily on a player without putting them in situations they wouldn't necessarily thrive in. And if that wasn't controversial enough for you, there were some fighting words midweek because of some stuff that was published about Method's negotiations, some of which ended up being untrue. None of it is really all that important. The bottom line is that Bobby Ryan would like to see the season progress slightly before further negotiating his extension and did not reportedly turn anything down. Method and Ottawa just have a little more moving to do and they'll have an extension done as well, best case scenario. That's it for today's SFT. I will see you folks following Wednesday evening's preseason tilt against the Toronto Maple Leafs. As always, thank you for watching. My name is Jordan Mady for Hooked on Hockey magazine. Stay Red Sens fans.